Hello everyone, can you see my screen?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. And firstly, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sam, and I am a sales engineer of Hikvision Philippine team. So today, I would like to share our thermal temperature screening solution to help and support our medical team to respond to this COVID-19 pandemic. But before we talk about the details, I would like to share you these videos. From these videos, I believe you to establish a basic conception that what kind of products do we have and what we can do. So let's take a few minutes to watch this video first. All right, thanks for your watch this video. And I believe from this video, you probably know that we have some kind of cameras, which is based on the thermal technology that can measure and detect people's skin surface temperature. Because we know the symptom of this COVID-19 infection is like people may get fever. So if we can find someone in fever on time, so maybe we can help our medical team to respond it and to control the situation. So that's why we release those kind of products. And for the product family, we have a bullet cameras, turret cameras, and handheld cameras for different scenario and different applications. So next, please let me show you what is our specific scenarios and the solutions. Wait a minute, let me reproject my screen. Okay, now let's start our thermographic temperature screening solutions. As I said, our products are based on the thermal technology. So what kind of technology is, what is the principle? And what is the principle can mix our products to reality? So after that, we may know what is the specific solutions do we have. And now it's AI age. So what AI can help us to deal with this pandemic? And last topic is a product showcase. So now let's talk them one by one. Okay, now we are talking about the principle. We know that any object with temperatures above absolutely zero emits a detectable amount of radiation. So based on this principle, we developed a special algorithm and sensor which can convert IR radiation into brief scale value. So like the picture we will show you here, like this is a thermal image and this is optical image. So after our sensor and algorithm convert IR radiations, then we can measure their temperature, and also our human eyes can see the image. So this is the basic principle. But after we know this principle, but so in the real environment, for example, our hospitals and police officers ask us, how we set up a solution, how we set up an environment. Here we have some suggestions. Firstly, we'd better to set up our environment at indoor. Why we have to set it indoor? Later I will show you why we set up it indoor. And some application like here, this is an indoor lobby and areas. And we'd better to set up a queen or a path that people can follow it. So after that, we set up our thermal checkpoint in the queen or end of the pass, like in this picture. So people can pass our thermal checkpoint one by one. And we also can detect and measure their temperature one by one. So this is the suggestions that how we set up basic environment for our thermal solutions. And now let's talk about the specific solutions. Basically, we have four kinds of scenarios. Scenario one is for long-term favor screening, like for crowds and open areas such as airports. Scenario two is for patrolling inspectors, for workshop or classroom. Scenario three is for short-term, like office or school entrance. Scenario four is favor screening with access control, like lobby of some office building or metro stations. So let's talk about them one by one. Okay, now we are going to scenario one. Like this two demo video showing to us, people pass our thermal checkpoint and we measure their temperature one by one. So, but since we are talking about long term, then how we define long term with distance? Usually, if the distance from 2.5 meters to 9 meters, or 2 meters to 7 meters, we can define it as long term. So we can say if the distance is up to 7 or 9 meters, then we can call it long term. So we will give you a long term solution like 10 mm thermal lens or 15 mm thermal lens. Okay, these two cameras is bullet with 10 or 15 mm thermal lens, and they are supporting dual lens. Thermal lens resolution is 384 by 288. Optical lens resolution is 4 megapixel, and the accuracy is about 0.5 degree. Meanwhile, the topology is quite simple, like front-end thermal bullet cameras, and you can connect with PoE switch and to your NVR with monitor, or you can connect to your PC directly, and the PC is installed our IBMS 4200 free software client. So this is a long-term solutions. But where we can use these long-term solutions, here are some typical applications, such as like this hospital. I believe the most of hospital there are information desk. You know, in China, the peak time of this pandemic, one day, within a day, maybe there are 20 or 30,000 people, more than that, they are visiting our hospital. So maybe we can set up our thermal checkpoint nearby this information desk and set up the queen or pass. So the people can follow this pass and our thermal cameras can check their temperature directly. Once we found someone in the queen, he's already in fever, then we can directly send him for virus test. Or like at airport, every time when we are going to airport, we have to do security and ticket check. So we have to follow this path. So maybe we can set up our thermal checkpoint here and check passengers' temperature. Or at some corridor of office building to set up our long-term thermal checkpoint. So this is a long-term scenario. And next is patrolling inspectors. I believe in somewhere like the garden or inside the supermarket, maybe it's hard to ask people to follow the rule, but we still need to know the people's temperature. So in this case, our solution is this thermal handheld cameras. It's like a cell phone with thermal measurement functions. So we can give this to our security or medical team to check people's temperature. The distance between these thermographic cameras and the human is better make it from 1.5 meters to 3 meters. And we have two ways to know people's temperature result. Like one way is there is a LCD display at here, so we can get the result locally, like in these pictures. All this device is supporting Wi-Fi hotspot, so which means it can connect with Wi-Fi and then to your cell phone, which is installed our Hikvision apps. From cell phone, you also can know people's temperature. If we found someone his temperature in abnormal, so we can send him for secondary manually measurement. And it also supports dual lens. Thermal resolution is 160 by 120 and accuracy is about zero point 0.5 degree. Support Wi-Fi, hotspot, audio alarm, and the battery operation time is 4 to 5 hours. And I believe you must interesting that there are a lot of forehead thermometers in the market. So what's the difference between our handheld cameras and forehead thermometers? So here is a comparison. For this forehead thermometers, if we want to know the result of people, the distance between this device and people may be only from 0.01 to 0.03 meters. We know this virus can be infected by touch or contact. So imagine this scenario like if 100 people they are waiting in the past, and we use these forehead thermometers to test their temperature. Maybe we use this device to touch someone and he's already infected. And then we use same device to test next one, and the next one. So maybe there is a possibility that the rest of the people will be affected by contact from this device. But our handheld thermographic cameras, the effective distance is from 1.5 meters to 3 meters. So this is totally no contact, no touch solutions to avoid infection by touch. And also, if we need result from this forehead thermometers, the speed needs 1 to 5 seconds, but we are real time. So this is a more efficient solution. And what is the typical applications? Like in some factories, office buildings, so our security colleagues can check our staff and the colleagues' temperature flexible, all in classroom and the interest of time. And next is a short-term solutions, like two demo videos showing to us. After past the checkpoint, they may directly access working area. And that in this case, we found this guy, he's in fever, so we give you alarm. But we talk about long-term. Now we are in short-term. So what's the difference between long-term and short-term? For long-term, the distance is from 7 to 9 meters. Remember that, right? For short-term, if the distance is from 0.8 meters to 1.5 meters, or from 1.5 meters to 3 meters, we can define it as short-term. So for short-term, like from 1.5 meters, we can offer you 3 mm length. From 1.5 to 3 meters, we can give you 6 mm length. For short-term, we have two types of cameras. One is turret, another is bullet. And the typology is similar with long-term, like front-end thermal or turret cameras connect with a network switch and then to your laptop, which is install our software. And these two cameras, they are also support dual lens. Thermal lens resolution is 160 by 120. Optical resolution is 4 mega, and they are supporting about 0.5 degrees accuracy. And they support audio alarm as well. So this is short term, and this is a typical application for short term, like entrance of office building, entrance of schools, airport, or supermarket. So, for example, at office building, we can set up a short-term thermal checkpoint here, and when our employee come to work, we can check their temperatures. And last one is for long-term with access control scenario, like somewhere like office building, the lobby of office building, maybe there are the barrier or turnstile installed there. So we can give you a solution that with our access facial recognition access control and thermal cameras. So at one hand, we can know who you are. On another hand, we can detect and check your temperatures. So if we found like this David, we found David, his temperature is abnormal, then maybe we can inform the admin or management team for to take care of him. And we have a turnkey solution, like we have a high conversion barrier, high conversion turnstile, and facial terminal and thermal cameras. We also support the facial terminal and thermal cameras to integrate your existing barrier by open API or network SDK. And now there are some typical applications for long-term with access control or barrier, like office building, entrance of factory or workshop, like this. So like I said, now it's AI age. So what AI can help us to respond to this pandemic? I will give you an example. In somewhere, once the people, we found his temperature is high, but he refused to cooperate with us, even against the medical team with violence or just run away. But for our AI solution, like we can aid our DP man NVR inside. So remember, our thermal camera has dual lens. Optical lens is 4 megapixel resolution. So from the 4 megapixel resolution, we send video stream to DP-man NVR. At DP-man NVRs, we can recognize you. We know who you are. So from the thermal lens, we know your temperature. And from the optical lens to DP-man NVR, we know who you are. But what is the value and benefit? Imagine that if, for example, me, I am Sam, I'm going to office and they found me, I'm in fever, but I refuse to cooperate. I just run away or just reject them. But the system already know that I am Sam, so it can send report to management team or directly to law enforcement team to force me to cooperate with a medical team. So this is the value and benefit. Now I'd like to show you the key features of this. Later, I will give you the copy of slide and also answer your question. Okay, let's continue. Now I'd like to show you the two key features about this thermal solution with DP-man with AI. It has statistic functions.
Normal temperature.
It will remind of normal or abnormal temperatures.
Please wear a mask.
Or remind you to wear face masks. So like here statistic like how many people is normal, how many people is abnormal, how many people didn't wear face masks, or how many people wear face masks. And second key features is this. Yes, that we still can know who you are, even though you are wearing face mask. So this is what AI can help us to deal with pandemic. And last is a product showcase. Like this bullet camera, these two bullet cameras are for long term. Like thermal resolution is 384 by 288. Optical resolution is 4 mega, and accuracy is 0.5 degree. And this is the handheld cameras. The thermal resolution is 160 by 120. Optical resolution is 2 mega, 5 mega, or 4 mega, 5 or 4K, 3 options. Accuracy is 0.5 degree, and it's touch screen and support Wi-Fi and audio alarm. Also support automatic screen capture and upload. And there are two short-term cameras, like these bullet cameras and turret cameras. Both of them, they are supporting dual lens. Thermal lens is 160 by 120, and optical lens is also 4 mega, and 0.5 degrees accuracy. Also, we can provide you black body calibrator and the tree board. There are some key features of our thermographic temperature screening solutions. Our cameras has an AI human body detection algorithm, which means the cameras, when it's detecting and measuring your temperature, it only focuses on your human body. Specifically, is for your human's head. So other heat source like hot coffee or hot tea will not cause a false alarm. And this special algorithm is developed by ourselves. Also, we can provide you one-stop solutions. We can provide you long-term cameras, short-term cameras, handheld cameras, and also we can provide you network cable. We can provide you PoE switch. We can provide you DP-man NVR. We can give you a monitor. We can give you a free software. So it's a one-stop solution. We also can give you black body calibrator, tripod, and tripod adapter, everything inside. And our short-term camera support audio alarm with built-in audio model. So once alarm triggered, then it will release audios to notify operators immediately. And there are products list. So later I will share you the copy of the presentation so you know more details. And also the datasheet I will also share with you. But we know in real project, in real case, maybe there are a lot of problems. So we summarize some typical problems to make up as Q&A. So question 1, can the temperature screening thermographic camera be installed outdoors? Like in first page, I recommend you to set up environment indoor. So why we cannot install outdoor? Here is answers. Because outdoor wind and sun can easily affect the surface temperature of the human body and the work status of cameras. So that's why we need to install it indoor. And also now it's summer season. So outdoor temperature must be very high. So if we install this solution at outdoor, the temperature, the background temperature is too high. So we cannot get exact and accurate result of human body's temperature. That's why we set up the solution as indoor environment. Second question is, can the accuracy of temperature screening thermographic cameras reach to 0.3, 0.1 degrees? The answer is no. At present, the cameras with accuracy is 0.5 degrees, and the black body calibrator, the accuracy is 0.1 degrees. So if we make up as a system, the system means cameras plus black body. The system accuracy is 0.3 degrees. Please note that the camera's accuracy is 0.5 degrees. The system that made by cameras plus black body, the accuracy is 0.3. And next question is, can the camera detect human bodies for temperature measurement? Yes, the camera can detect human bodies. It can support 30 persons at a time, but we still recommend to carry out temperature measurement person by person to get more accurate result. And the next question is, will other heat sources such as teas or coffees cause false alarm? The answer is no. As I mentioned, we support AI human body detection algorithm. So the cameras, when it detects the temperature, it only focuses on your human body, and to avoid other heat source that such as hot tea or hot coffee. So avoid the false alarm. And next question is, when can I use the fever screening function after the camera is turned on? It's a little bit different between the normal camera and the thermal cameras. For normal cameras, we know it, we power it on, then we can use it to get live stream or snapshot. But because of a special algorithm, for thermal cameras, after power on 30 minutes, it's better to start using. And for handheld cameras, after power on 5 minutes, then we start using. And last question is, what is black body calibrator? What should be noticed before purchasing it? Basically, black body is a standard temperature source. The thermographic camera are able to calibrate based on the temperature of black body calibrator. And the black body usually installed in front of the cameras about 1.5 1.2 meters. So it just need to be power on, no need internet connections. So this is our basic solutions about thermographic cameras. So do you have any questions? Okay, I will answer your questions. Can we integrate this to our existing Hikvision NVR? Yes, yes. If your existing Hikvision NVR is an I-series above, then it's no problem. Um, and I suggest you, before you purchase our thermographic cameras, please contact our technical team or your supplier's technical team to upgrade your NVR to the latest firmware. And if you have existing NVRs, then with our thermographic cameras, it only can do the thermal functions like check people's temperature. But if you need intelligence features like this two video shows, like statistic face masks remain or facial recognitions, even you wear face mask, but then you still need to use our new DP man NVRs. Okay, do you have any other questions? Okay, wait a minute. What do you mean? Any hot state we need to know? It's no dangerous, without any dangerous, because the thermal cameras, like maybe this part make you confused, like, and the principle is uh, like about IR radiation, but that's not the radiation like the nuclear weapons. Like any object and people, if the temperature is above absolutely zero, it will release IR radiation, right? So our thermal sensor just receive your IR radiation and convert it to image. The camera itself will not release any radiation. It just receives radiations. No, when you integrate to our existing NVR, you can see both footage of optical lens and the thermal lens. But for thermal lens, you only have the temperature functions. But if you need that intelligence functions, like these two demo shows, the intelligence functions, then you need to purchase DP man NVR. So if you have existing NVRs, no problem, but only have a thermal function like temperature functions. Okay, if you have no other questions, then let's move to, oh, sorry. If we are using IVMs together with DPMan NVR, we can see what special guys can show you. It's up to your requirement. Like if you have thermal cameras and you have our DPMan NVR, and it can be managed by IVMS 4200, and there's no special guys is showing, just like, okay, let's talk about, like, if you have an NVR but you don't want to use monitor, so you can connect your NVR with your laptop and then install IVMs on the laptop. So then you can view all the image like thermal and optical, and get the facial recognition result from the IVMS software client. It's just a management software. Okay, if no other questions, so let's move to the next part about our 1 minute. Let me project my video. Okay, it's okay. If you need thermal cameras and deep in mind NVR, you can just connect to your software client and like software client manage everything. It's okay. So let me reproject my screen. And next part is about our mental thermal detector door. And same like first chapter 1. So please watch this video first. Alright guys, thanks for your watch this video. And I believe from this video you probably to know that what is products from this video. Like this is a mantle detector door that integrate with our thermographic cameras. So at one hand, we can detect whether people they are bringing mental stuffs. On another hand, we can know that their temperatures. Sorry, let me reproject my screen. Okay, okay. So now let's talk about our thermographic temperature screening mental door detector solutions. Sorry, the name may be long, but the idea is simple. I believe in most of public facilities in Philippines, like supermarket, office building, or government agency, there must be a mantle detector installed at main entrance and exit to help our security team to check whether people they are bringing mantle stuff such as weapons or knives into our facility. But at this special time, we also need to know people's temperature that they want to access our facilities. So in this case, we release a product that integrate mantle detector door and our thermographic cameras. So at entrance, we still can check they bring mantles or not. Also, we can know their temperatures. And once we found something abnormal, then our security team at front line can respond immediately. Also, we can connect to your network and inform your surveillance center. So this is a basic idea and brief solution introduction. And this typology is also very simple. Like between the mantle detector and the thermal cameras, they are connecting each other by RS485. So once we detect someone, his temperature, and the cameras will deliver the temperature signal, temperature alarm info through the RS485 to the mantle detector door. Then at the display, there is IOC display here. At the mantle detector, we will show you what is people's temperatures. And we can connect to TCP IP to NVR or to your management center. for centralized management. The typology is also very simple. And this is the working flow. When person comes and she or he must pass our detector door. If the temperature is normal, okay, she or him allowed to pass. But if the temperature is abnormal, then we can, for some preliminary measurement, or even send him for emergency treatment. And these thermal cameras, it also support dual lens, thermal lens, and optical lens. Like this image is optical image and thermal image. Also, there are temperature information here. And at the display of the metal detector door, we can show you how many people pass this door and its temperature and how many people his temperature is abnormal and what is the abnormal temperatures. And this is some advantage of our solution. This is a touch-free solutions and fast fever screening. People just pass this gate, pass this door, then we will get his temperature result. And with high security, it's still with a mental detector functions. So we can detect the brain's mentals or not. And it's support to connect with our TCP/IP to centralize management and also high adaptability for different applications, also easy to install and configuration. In fact, there are two products, metal detector door and the thermal cameras, but no worry, when you order it, we will integrate them to one product. And here are introduction of our products. It can do statistic function like people counting, mental alarm countings, people with abnormal temperatures, also with higher reliability and good quality. And we know that usually the people's temperature range is from 30 to 45 degrees. So also our thermal temperature range is 30 to 45. So it is dedicated for fever screening applications and with higher accuracy, 0.5 degree, and also with LCD display to show you real-time result. And it can support maximum 18 independent detection zone and detecting mental small to clips. And this is two types of alarm. First is mental alarms. So the LED light color is red and the light is style is like this. Second is a fever alarm. The LED light color is orange and its alarm type is like that. Also, there is a LCD display to give you real result of the temperatures. So there are comparison between the traditional metal detector, like this is an ordinary metal detector, but now if we want to know the people's temperature, we have to arrange a colleague standing here and check their temperature one by one. But this is our solutions. It's altogether one-stop solutions. If someone is, there's no necessary to arrange anyone standing here and waiting and checking here. So if someone his temperature is abnormal, we will directly give you alarm. It's more easier and convenience. And there are some typical applications like entrance of airport, schools, and hospitals. And we already deliver some of them in real project, like this our capital airport, Beijing Capital International Airport, and a very big shopping mall at Hangzhou, in our headquarters city. And this is the best university and its hospital in China, Peking's University People's Hospital, and one of the top university in China, Fudan Universities. So, any questions? Okay. Okay, I will mute. Okay, I mute all the audios. So, guys, do you have any questions about our mantle detector doors? You can send in chat box to ask any questions. Sorry, the statistic is locally, only on the LCD. So far, we cannot export the statistic result. It's only showing on the LCD. Sorry, let me show. It's only showing here. We cannot export this statistics so far. But I will feedback your suggestion to our R&D and ask them to develop this export function as early as possible. And thank you for your feedback. Uh, the statistic is it can maximum statistic 100,000 people. So if the people like they access to this facility one day or at a period, they are more than 100,000. Then so far, for now, the solution is we power off it and then power on. So it will start from zero. So now if we want the statistic like how many people access per day or per week, so we have to do it manually. If, for example, if the people's number already reached to hundred of thousands, then we can take a picture and power off it, then power on to restart it, then recalculate again, and then manually calculate how many people visit here. Okay, thank you. And I sent the download link to Chatbox. So you can visit this link to download the PPTs, the products data sheet, and the videos. And the last topic, I'd like to share you another videos. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. 1 minute. I will reproject my screen. Okay, please take few minutes to watch this video as well. Okay, thanks for watching this video as well. And I believe from this video, you already knew that Hikvision thermographic solution is already delivered to all around the world and support the people there to fight this pandemic. And also the quality and the service of our solutions and the products are approved. So it's worthy to you to trust it as well. We do support integrate with our thermal cameras with turnstile, and it's like once our temperature thermal cameras detect you are in abnormal, and we can support it to like inform to your admin or management team or like send alarm. Black body is an optional device. It depends what is our requirement on accuracy. For example, if the camera's accuracy 0.5 degree is acceptable, then there's no need black body. But in some case, like in hospital, if they are requiring higher accuracy, such as 0.3 degree, then we can offer them black body. It's optional. You are welcome. And please, you can download from that link that I sent to chat box about iron materials. And if you have any questions in the future, please also feel free to contact High Information team and ask our questions. So at this time, the most important thing for you guys is stay safe and take care. Thank you for your time to join our training. Thank you, and always take care, please. So today our training is finished. Thank you for your time.